Oh, that's not good. I love this truck. It's so utilitarian. So you guys have been wondering where the Smoke Show S10 has been. You guys are like, where's the S10? I haven't seen the S10. What's going on with the S10? Is the motor getting worked on? Today, we're gonna fix it and get it back on the road. First thing I gotta do is go get it out of its buried hidey hole in the garage. Poor guy. All right. Don't need that. RC car stuff. Why are you guys still out here? Come on in. Oh, this poor thing. So, functionality of this truck. It works. It runs and drives. I mean, I still have the motor. It's getting built. We've just been running into problems with parts. It's like trying to get parts. And this last issue I had actually was the cam. I ordered a cam. It showed up, and then it was the wrong camshaft. So, have to send it off, get another one machined, and it's just process. So, you know, most of the parts, like the Chevy 350 style parts, because all that's interchangeable, rods, pistons, all that stuff, like I could get it. Most of the time I had to order an 8 instead of 6, but we're just waiting on parts. Now, if you can see here, I have some more parts and I have lights, because the last time we drove this was Christmas. So it's been sitting for literally 6 months. For the Christmas parade, and why I was nervous to drive it and why I have this and why I have these is because of the transfer case issues. Let me explain. If you guys saw when I built the S10, I built it in about 3 months, and I did dual transfer cases because the Chevy, or the S10 NP231C, is 5 bolts instead of 6 bolts. So there's not a whole lot of options out there for it. So what I ended up doing was cutting it and putting a plate in, welding it together, and then doubled it to a Jeep NP231J. And if you guys remember, the last time I took it apart, I put it up on the lift, took it apart, see why it was leaking, and all of my shaft pieces and everything were like just razor blade thin, like my splines. And if that went out, I'm losing all drive. Like I have 0 drive going to my axles. This bolt's loose, found that out too. Like I can turn it with my finger. And we took it down to Payson for the end of the Onyx Off-Road Build Challenge. I also managed to crush this leaf spring, which at the time wasn't super big of a deal because Rubicon Express still existed. Rubicon Express no longer exists, and those were their YJ spring over springs. So I had to look around for spring sets as well, and I ended up calling everybody I knew, and my buddy Freddie Williams actually brought me a set. He had a set laying around, so I got a set from him that I can replace my bad main leaf anyway. I'm gonna have to modify them because I think I took one leaf out and I drilled them out with the bigger center pins. Either way, what we gotta do first is fix our transfer case problem, and that's what these boxes are for and this other transfer case. So we need to get this thing up in the air after I pull the Christmas lights out. Blue tape for days, blue tape for days. So glad I used this stuff though, the painter's tape, because it's not that the paint's real nice on this thing, but it's not ruining anything taking it off. This thing was probably overkill, but especially just for some LED lights, I'm definitely gonna hold on to it. I think I might mount it in the Comanche, actually. That was an Amazon special, because the S10 already has this one that I mounted in. still leaking. Oh yeah. That's gonna be a little slow going. Now when I get asked how tough are Adam's drive shafts, let me show you, because you remember this truck was on Ultimate Adventure in 2023, so it's been Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, and then all the way back over here to Arizona, up to North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. So it's been all over the country. Driver Wheeler, still on the same drive shaft, even though I have a spare up there. That's a thin wall one though, for like, if I were to mess this up. Look at this. Those are rocks. Look at that one. Ow. Tougher than my head, that's for sure. They're tough. All right, I'm gonna take the front drive shaft off. That should be 9/16. And I know I've mentioned this before, but these are also Adam's yolks. They have their own yolks forged. And look at that. That cap is completely covered. Normally you just have a little dog ear right here. And this is a full cover, whole half the cap. A lot stronger. Cool. Tight. A little shiny at the end there. And that looks like it has a little ATF in it. Awesome. Look at that. Hand cramp. Last one. There we go. Alright. That's unhooked, that's unhooked. I think we're ready to pull it. Yay! I always ruin this seal every single time. Every single time. So we need to rebuild everything in here. We need to get to this stuff, and I need to actually check everything in my doubler case as well. Let's tear this thing apart. Ooh, that O-ring's bad. Sealed on there good. Bigger bar. All right, at this point I can take the pump out. I just have to remove the fill tube. There we go. Pump should come out. Should being a keyword. Okay. There we go. Ooh, look at all that metal in there from this failing setup. Yucko. That's not good at all. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not good. So in case you're wondering, when I had this apart, I did 6 pinion planetaries. Normally your low range is only a 3 pinion planetary, meaning you only have 3 gears in there, and I did a 6 pinion planetary, so I got 6 gears up in these low range boxes. And then I also did the heavy wide chain kit. So this is the heavy duty kit here, and everything is bigger as well for all this. This should come out for me. Yep. Set this here. Because we're gonna have to take a serious look at everything in here and everything in here. That looks okay, but this does not. I can see right now. There we go. Look at that. That fork is completely destroyed, wearing on the inside of it. Fortunately, this collar still looks okay, but this is definitely not. There's normally little clips here, and then it's wore past those into the metal itself. Yuck. That's cooked. Here you can see the 6-pinion planetary though. So you got all of these have a gear in them as opposed to just 3. And normally I wouldn't worry about trying to take this out. In this case, with metal shavings falling apart in that pump, we better check all of it, which is kind of a bummer. Separate this. Whoa. Well, that didn't work. Just broke that. Good job, Colt. Now I get to try to fill that in. Doesn't look like it went through, but if you guys remember, this thing wasn't good either. Look at that. Might be hard to tell on the camera, but those are razor thin splines because it's been offset wearing it out wrong. Now this stuff I better keep in a separate bin. Put this case of stuff here. And look how sloppy that is. Oh my gosh, that is no good too. It's so bad it's actually wore into it. I can't even separate it. That's not good either. Well, we'll just set that there too. This one, I did a 6-pinion planetary in here, but I'm gonna have to take it out as well. So, I think what we'll do is we'll just do one case at a time, which means we'll start here. Magnet full of everything. That's not good. I'll just set this in the parts washer. Not good at all. Now I'll see if I can use this without blowing stuff up. Yeah. There's one. Gotta find these. There we go. Now we can get it out, hopefully. Got lucky. This never ends with all the stuff. These are razor sharp in here as well, so that's completely no good. I know there's a notch for this in here somewhere. Just gotta find it. There we go. This was the seal that was wore out last time, so we'll take that out and see what I can get apart here. There it went. Got it. Now, fortunately, our planetary gears look good, so nothing's bad there. Yucko. Definitely gonna have to clean it out though. And there is a lot of side-by-side shaft play in there, so we'll see when I pull this apart what it looks like. Yep. Never taken one of these apart. You just have shims in here. Everything in here looks okay for the most part, which is good, minus that. And that is why I have the other Jeep 231. That hurt. Okay, so I cleaned this up a little bit. Now I'm hoping you can see how wore out these splines are. Now this is a custom made piece. Not only this piece is, but this plate, this ring, and then this plate right here that you weld in once you cut the case off are all machined pieces. And what I ended up finding out that was wrong with this and why this was wearing out is, if you guys remember, I actually bought this kit from a company called Frolic, and I think they just kind of, I don't know if they took over from D&D Machine way back in the day, because like if you remember Pirate 4x4, it was a forum, there's a guy that was making these 231s, and it was a crapshoot if you could get a hold of him or not. And if you did, you'd give your money, and then maybe at some point something would show up, but his customer service was pretty at the bottom. Frolic was exactly the same way. So like I ordered it, and at the point where I was like, do I need to cancel my card payment? It showed up, and he wasn't answering messages or anything like that. With that being said, if you have one of these that's over 2 years old, it's machined a few thousandths out. So it's machined wrong. Therefore, it's wearing your parts out if you're running highway speed. Now, if this is in a rock crawler, it probably will never affect it. You'll never even know it's happened, and it'll probably work just fine. Now, they've fixed that since then. So like I said, in the last 2 years, anyone that they've bought or you've bought and sent out, they've fixed. But I hadn't been able to get a hold of him. I was like, well, I didn't know that they had fixed it yet. And so I ended up buying this kit, which I bought this kit too. But I ended up buying this kit, and this is from Frog Fab. Now, they're a company out of Canada. My plan was to probably just build a whole nother set of doubler cases. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. This is set up a little bit different, like it's the same, but it's different. And the center hole is lined up correctly. I measured it to this one, and it is different. But if you look at it, the machining isn't super awesome. Like, you can see the plasma cuts on all of this thing. This is just a chunk of aluminum, and they just kind of cut it wherever they decided to cut it. Even the shaft, they didn't even finish machining off the end of the shaft. It's still got chunks on it there. And then this shaft still has cuttings in it. Like, you can see cuttings from when they splined this shaft. And it's very hot looking. Like, if you look at that, that looks like it was like cut with a dull cutter. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. This like box is just full of cuttings. So I was really kind of disappointed. I'm like, man, how good is that one when it looks like it was machined in a shed? Then when that showed up, Chris Frolic actually got back to me. He apologized. He's like, look, I've been really bad about my customer service, and I haven't been responding to people, and I want to get better at that. And I apologize. You know, he's like, I can give you a really good deal on the corrected parts, basically at cost. Like I said, if you have one that's for a rock crawler, you won't get this kind of wear, because I'm running highway speeds, 60, 70 miles an hour with that just being machined out as little as it is. But, at this point, this thing is now, because that was wrong, has destroyed everything I have in both my cases. So now I have to rebuild both my cases. That's a kind of a bummer. Now this new one, I do want you to see how his stuff showed up. Look at the machining on this. Much nicer, much more professional looking. It's inset here for your shift rail as opposed to having a hole with a bolt like that one. Better fill plug sights and everything. So this is actually done a lot nicer. Like, they did a nice job with this versus this one. This is even cut out to fit, where this is just like a big open plate. So I don't know if this is like a PSA or is this just like, I'm not really ranting. I just want you guys to understand what I got going on. So now I'm at a crossroads of, do I use Frolic stuff, which is now machined right, or do I try to make one with the Frog Fab one? And I think what I'm gonna do is use the Frolic one, because it is just, if you look at how this shaft is machined, it's just much nicer. You have a longer length of spline too, so it's not gonna sit there and slop around. It's actually designed to bottom out. So I really feel like this is a better setup. And I do like to give people a chance, because, like he said, he called me, he apologized, he said he's gonna get better with his customer service, he's gonna get better with his ordering, giving email updates, things like that. And he has fixed the machining issue. So this is a nice, much nicer kit. They're basically the same price, especially after you add the shipping from Canada. And he speaks English. These guys speak French Canadian. So it's like I can't speak French Canadian. Fortunately, 231s aren't crazy expensive and you can still find them in a salvage yard. But now I get to do a lot of repair work. So we're gonna clean these out. I have this other case that I picked up from my buddy Dune. We're gonna tear it apart and pull all the goodies out of it. And now I realized how bad this one is. So now I gotta pull an S10 one out and tear it out of the other S10. If you guys remember when we pulled the motor out of the other S10 where it's getting rebuilt, that T case, now I gotta pull it out so I can get all the guts from it, because you know, both these shift forks are toast. I'm betting, I haven't looked at it yet, but if I were to guess, ooh, well, these splines are still good in this one, so that's not bad. That's a good thing. Either way, I still want to tear it apart, clean it up, redo it. Ugh. Come here, thing. And I might just build that case since it doesn't have metal in it, and just put these planetaries, obviously use that input shaft, and then the big chain kit and everything in this one. So lots of work. So this is where the slop is in the doubler, and you can see here how wore out that is. That's literally so wore out that it cut into it trying to hold this weird angle. Yeah, so that one's just no good now. Oof, that's been cooked. Ew, don't even know what that is. It's not good, we know that much. Definitely gonna have to tear this one apart. Well, that's no fun. Yay. Figure out how to heat those up. Well, I turned the camera off for half a second and broke it. Oh, and I stripped one. Get it? I don't know. Well, I got a late start on this, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It's nighttime, and I just keep breaking tools. I've now shot that thing twice out, and I broke one, and it went right here into my garage door. So I think I should call it a night. So I'm getting hot. It's humid tonight for some reason. Not very common here in Farmington, but it must be planning on raining tonight or something. So we are gonna call it a night. New day, fresh, clean. None of this is though. I did pick up a couple tools. Hopefully these guys don't break. Well, I'm gonna be honest, this wasn't cheap. Like, oh. Oh no, that's stripped too. Yay, we're batting 500. Normally I wouldn't even be taking this apart other than it has all that metal and stuff in it, so I kind of got to. And I'm not really sure what to do about this. The only thing I can think of is welding a nut to it. Yep. All right, let that sit for a little bit. Hopefully, we got it. Ugh. Well, that didn't do anything. Neat. Attempt 2. No, that's good. That's hot on that side. All right, winning. Say that sealed up good. Dang it. Well, just broke that. Hot dog. That was some work. But we got it. There it went. Got it. That's full of grossness. Check these rather than cleaning it up. I think everything here looks okay. Just gotta get cleaned up. Definitely goodies in there. Guess I'm gonna have to take this apart. Unfortunately, there's something going on in there. Yeah, that's a bunch of bad. Okay, that cleaned up. I think we got this cleaned up. We're just full of crusties in here. I just need to get this cleaned up. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. That seems better. Made a mess. But I got a clean transfer case half. No crusties. Even the breather was packed full of junk, so hey. Ooh, it's bright. We'll be getting back to you very soon. You guys like plums? I got plums. They're not grown yet, but they're getting there. You guys remember this thing? It's the one I pulled the engine out of, put the cab on the bed. Now we're gonna need this T-case. Oh, that shifter mount's totally different. How about that? More tools. There we go. Got it. There we go. All right. Only leaked down my leg a little bit. Yay. Case 3, case 4. Odds are this pump's probably better than the other one. That filter looks nice and good. Might have to use that one. 231C chain. There's a lot better looking shift forks here. This one's actually metal. Dang, this one's got a 6-pinion planetary in it too. Saving that. Heck yeah. No junky aluminum in there. It's a good thing. Even has reliefs for the shifting so you can shift in and out better. Interesting. Definitely saving that. That thing spins so good too. Man, good strong T-case right there. See if we can put this stuff in our rebuild case. Put this over it. All right. Spring in there. Brand new shaft. I'm gonna put some transmission lube on this. Make sure it's nice and clean. All right. We now have a low range. We now have a low range box. One down, one to go. All right, on to our fourth and final case. The reason I got to pull this one apart is because I obviously need this front output that is completely roached on the new one, plus the shift collar, and potentially whatever else I find in here that might be nicer than what's in that one. Also, I now have Shanna that's helping me film. Say hi, Shanna.
Hi, Shanna.
Finally got the ridiculousness apart. Now we can pull this catch off. Come on. There we go. Pump those out. Pump. So it doesn't look bad. I don't think it's as good as the GM one. Jeep's random different bolt. Don't know why they did that. Come on, sucker. This one's got some crud in it. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now you can see here this chain is good. There's no slop or anything in it, but it's very narrow. And one of the things that impressed me with that S10 case is it actually has the wide chain kit, and that's what I put in the back of my case. If you come over here and look at the width of this chain, see how much wider this chain is from this chain. And that's what's in that S10 actually, is this thicker chain, which is kind of crazy. All right, we'll pull this up. I might actually use this shift fork over that one all the way around. And pull this up. So this is what we need right here. This is much better than this one. You can see how wore out that is, and much better than that one. Cool. That one's actually pretty nice. Try to catch it, see if I can. If I can get my slimy gloves on here. There we go. Without losing an eyeball. Now you can see this just has 3 planetaries, so it's not nearly as strong as the one I put in here that's 6 planetaries, but because of the offset of the machining, we're going to have to replace these centerpieces because these splines are completely shot, while these splines are still perfect, a perfect 23 spline count. Hopefully, just get behind it. we go. I might even use these shims because they look like they're in better shape. Such good shape, and I can't get it out. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this planetary gear set up because who knows what got inside of it when all that metal and everything fell apart. So I just wanna get everything cleaned out and put it back together. Pretty simple. There we go. Like that. All right, got her in. All right, so I think I'm gonna use this case, even though it's dirty. It hasn't had metal in it, it hasn't had junk in it, it hasn't been pulled apart 12 times at this point. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my leaking cases and everything else. So one of the things I gotta do though is I gotta take these studs off. So say goodbye to these studs.
Bye-bye.
There it is. I was like, it'll go eventually. All right.
That's really satisfying.
All right, new case is all cleaned up. Cleaned up the magnet, which actually wasn't even dirty. We can go ahead and put this bad boy in now. Should be a good thing, because it needs to go in.
Boom.
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 It's on my pinky. There we go. There we go. Put this in its spot. Then we can put this bad boy in its spot. And we got a spring. All right, had to make a quick run to O'Reilly's because I knew I needed a front output seal, especially when I've been in there just cleaning. Figured I better put that in. Also decided to stop at Smoothie King. Bananas and strawberries and pineapples and things. Let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. Oh yeah. Got it. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Got it that time. Now I'm just putting a little bit of assembly grease on here so that everything sticks together well. Mostly because I don't want it to fail. Let's see if we can get this bad boy together. This one. We have half of a tea case.
Woo!
All right, so I pulled this one out of the other S10 case. This is by far the cleanest, even after cleaning them all up. This one looks the best, so I'm gonna use it. Put it in now. I'm gonna put some goo on here. Yeah. Let's try to do this without losing the pump. Pick up, and we should be good. Help if I have it the right way. What's going on here? Come on, Mr. Bearing. Free up. Getting somewhere now. Same deal, this good S10 pump. So I'm putting a little grease on here, do the same thing. So it seals up on that. And I'm using assembly grease so it actually breaks down in the ATF so it won't ruin anything here. Then, the most important part of a 231, this is where they always fail, is if you don't get this hose back into that pump. So I'm gonna need a pick. All right, pump. So good, you're gonna
fight me all the way up, huh? There we go. Why are you fighting me so much? Usually I can just twist this up a little bit like that and get it. For some reason, I'm not getting it. Oh, there we go. There it is. Straighten that tube out. Get it in there. Get in there, tube. Yeah. There we go. That's not going nowhere. Whew, that's some work. Since I'm building out of 4 cases, I'm not going to put that weird bolt in. I'm going to make sure I have the same bolts in every one of these. That'll make life easy. Woohoo! We got a collar. That's right. Not that this matters because I don't have a speedometer gear on the S10, but kind of makes me wonder if like Advanced Adapters has one of these for a 231C that takes the collar so I could actually keep the speedo. All right. There we go. Make sure the pump's held in there. Tighten those down. Come on, sucker. Go down in. Tighten it down. And back. Do it like this. Work smarter, not harder, Colt. There we go.
Got it.
All right, now when you put this on, this is obviously our front output seal, and because that case doesn't have any chains in it, doesn't have a pump in it, my front case, it's only just gears, so I'm gonna put gear oil in it. This rear case, because it has a chain and it has a pickup pump, it obviously is gonna take ATF. So you gotta make sure that this notch here falls into this hole right here. So when you set it up, you want to make sure you set it up that way. But I'm going to go ahead and put this new seal in. So the original seal was just a single-sided seal, and the reason that I'm using this seal is because it is double-sided. So you can see there and see there, the odds of it leaking are a lot less. The other thing I like to do is put grease in here on the spring of this seal, and that'll help make sure that it doesn't pop off. Now putting sealant on both pieces, this side and that side, is honestly probably overkill, but I've had these cases apart 10 times now, I don't know. And so this is the last time I'm doing this. I'm not doing this again. If I have to do it again, we're just pulling them out and getting rid of them. Old tub going down now. Spare parts. Hey, there's that 13 millimeter I was looking for.
Found it.
All right, so I'm just setting this up because there is a spacer ring and then this plate, and you have to put all this on this case, and then you put that case on here. So it's kind of a process, but I kind of wanted to get it lined up and get my guesstimations where they're supposed to be. So if I do it like that, then I know that's where that's supposed to fall. All right, learning from experience. Now granted, that could have been, like I said, the incorrect machine plate, but learning from experience, I am going to silicone these seals up. Now this is a much better seal. This is a Dorman 917562. This is what I'm gonna put between here to this ring because that's potential the highest leak. This one will go right between these two here, and I'm gonna have to punch a couple holes in it. So I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where my holes are gonna go for this ring. But I'll figure that out when I get to it. So I figured out a trick. I got my little burr bit, put it on this box, put it right on the center of the hole that I need to make. And it makes a nice, perfect hole without catching and getting weird. This should fall right there. Right, this is gonna be the moment of truth. Hopefully this thing slides right on. I always kind of thought this obvious because, like I said, this hole was offset. So hopefully, don't fight it now.
No fighting.
Moment of truth. Alright. So light. I'll tell you what. Dang, that fell right in.
Yeah, it did.
No issues at all. Wow. That's great.
Yes. It's a good thing he has the muscles. Yeah.
Still gotta put my drain and fill plug in and our front seal, but we officially got 231 doublers again. Now this one, the reason I had this off, two reasons. It is different than the Jeep one. So the bolt holes, you see they're much wider. And I wanna pull this seal out and double seal it as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. We'll put it on. And then, yeah, it'll be stabby stab time. See if we can get this to happen. Ooh, that's sketchy. I don't want to break it. Looks like it's moving slowly.
Oh yeah, I see it. There it comes.
Got it.
Yay.
You guys remember the issues I had with these, thus the welded nut on there. I went to Ace Hardware and got a few new ones. They're metric, so they were kind of oddball. The big hardware chains didn't have them, but the Ace Hardware did. So, which is good. They're actually cheaper at Ace this time too. But it is a weekend, so I didn't get to use my usual local hardware store for bolts and stuff, which is J-Lou. They have everything, and they're reasonable. Now we're putting our gasket on. That's our 5-hole gasket. That's the whole reason I went with the S10 231 to a Jeep 231 is because there really isn't a whole lot of options for that thing. Off-road Design, I think, makes their doubler for it, and that's about it. So if this fails, you know what option we're going with. Magnum Box 205, which I wouldn't be opposed to because then I'd have the ability of a front dig on this thing. And different gear ratios, because this one's, realistically, this one is just 2.72 and 2.72. There is our seal. So one of the things I'm not looking forward to is stabbing this back in just like it was pulling it out, but unfortunately I just don't have a transmission jack that reaches that high, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Yay for fun stuff.
Here we go.
Oh, how do I want to pick this up? I think put it on my shoulder. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
It's been a long day.
Definitely not going that long. I gotta figure out a different way. Now, when I tell you, I'm cramping up so bad. Turn that rear shaft.
Keep turning.
Yeah. There it is. All right.
Wow.
That was fun. Yeah.
Is that called braille bolting?
Yep. Just do it with your eyes closed. All right, this is gonna be kind of hard to see, but it's filled about halfway, and that was just me filling it up and then plugging it. So hopefully that will be good. So we put gear oil in here, obviously, because it's just gears, there's no pump or anything. And then I'm gonna put transmission fluid in this one, but I gotta pull these two bolts back out to put our crossmember support on here, because there's a lot of extra case hanging here. So I wanna make sure that it has that support. All right, so we got a problem. If you guys remember, like I said, this plate was offset. Now that it's set correctly, my support that I made here now doesn't bolt up. It's hard to see there, but it is completely out. About a ½ inch or so. So I gotta get creative and come up with a way to move this bracket over. Perfect. Now we can just tack this in, and then we can come out and clean it up. We got our new mount. ATF for the rear case. Yeah. Hey. All right, opened up the garage door, and I want to go ahead and run this thing through the gears and just make sure that everything works. Got everything hooked up, drive shafts hooked up. I want to make sure that nothing leaks before we put the belly pan on, because, well, once we have that belly pan on, I won't be able to see anything.
stuff. Come on, okay.
The S10 is alive! This is awesome. So, it's definitely running down the road smoother. I had a small drivetrain vibration that I would feel just rolling, and I thought, well, you know, it's leaf sprung truck, I have unbalanced tires, you know, but that has like disappeared. It's pretty smooth now, which makes me feel a lot better about that. Hopefully we fixed it. I don't know.
I'm confident. I'm excited to have it back.
There it is in all its glory. I love this truck. It's so utilitarian. It's like a rolling toolbox.
I got a question for you guys. Why are giants so smart? Because they use big words. Yes!
Now I still got to fix that leaf spring, but I'm not really worried about it today. I mean, it still works, so it still springs, and it's a leaf. One more out. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Please make sure you've liked and subscribed. We really appreciate it.
Bye. Oh, snap, son.